Every Wednesday, it's our GroundUp news feature with as of 2 days ago, the editor of GroundUp. Good morning, Barbara October, and welcome to our lounge here at Prime Media.
Thank you. Good morning, Lester, and good morning, Cape Town. It's a lovely lounge. Thank you for inviting me.
Very much. Thanks so much for joining us. As always, I'm loving seeing you in person. GroundUp News, not-for-profit news agency, does all the important public interest journalism legwork. Let's start with your story of a clothing company implicated in a sweatshop scandal.
Yeah, so last week the National Bargaining Council for the Clothing Manufacturing Industry filed an application in the Pietermaritzburg High Court against Drake Clothing to have them liquidated. And they're basically accusing the company of using these sweatshops. And if you know a little bit about the company, they supply major retail stores like Pep, Mr. Price, Foschini. And they're basically accusing these sweatshops of flouting labor laws, so exploiting their workers, paying them a lot less. And through that, they're able to, offer their products, their clothing at a significantly cheaper price. And that then creates an imbalance and unfair competitive rates that they're able to offer these retailers. So Drake Clothing hit back this week. And they're saying that the bargaining council was completely unfair. They used unfounded and I think they used the word inadmissible and actually defamatory allegations to base the application against them. So the case will be heard in the High Court next month. And we'll be watching it because it has significant implications for the local textile industry and textile workers.
Yeah. And then there's something that you've been covering quite in depth is looking into vigilante killings in the Philippi area. I know that the Philippi Crossroads, Brownsfarm parts of our city has been one of the worst areas plagued with serious criminality. But residents there taking to the streets, a fourth suspected criminal killed by vigilantes since January.
Correct. So this happened last week. Community, it was a vigilante murder. And, this morning I was listening to your news broadcast and, police were saying, the police commissioner was saying, crime stats are decreasing in some areas. But this case is evident that it's not necessarily something to celebrate because people aren't necessarily going to the police to report these crimes anymore. They are taking matters and the law into their own hands. And that's what's happening in the community of Philippi. So, we spoke to residents to say, why is it that, you keep witnessing or participating in acts like this, and there appears to be a complete breakdown of trust in the police from Nyanga all the way to the Philippi East precinct. They just people just don't trust the police anymore. We spoke to the Institute for State Security, and they are looking into cases like this, particularly Philippi. And, they're saying that, while the community needs to be held responsible, but the police need to take accountability for the failure of policing in these communities and the breakdown of communication and trust with the community.
And GroundUp keeps the light in shade. Of course, very, very serious news stories like communities up in arms around criminality, but you're also trying to see the good in what the city and what this country is doing. You have a great story of how the city is converting our waste into electricity.
Yes, so we have been running a photography fellowship, and Jeffrey Abrams is one of our fellows, and he got a unique look into the city's coastal park landfill site. It's one of the biggest landfill sites in the metro. And the city, I think in November last year, started this, I think it's 93 million rand gas to power project. And they are converting methane gas, because we know methane is produced by decomposing waste. So they are converting that methane gas into electricity. And if you go onto our website and you go through some of the photos it's fascinating to actually see how they're doing this. So not only is it good for the environment, but we are seeing a return because that energy is then fed back into the grid, and they said it can power about over 4,000 households. So not only is it good for the environment, but it also means that our dependency on buying electricity from Eskom reduces, because all of that energy is being fed back into the grid, and we'll definitely be seeing the success of this project, because they're going to be replicating it at other landfill sites as well. So it's something exciting and good for the environment, good for the residents of Cape Town.
Barbara October, she's the editor of GroundUp. They do excellent public interest journalism. They're a not-for-profit news agency, but they also need to keep the lights on, and they need to keep the very, very good reporters paid. They do all their work for free. All the major news agencies use them, and you could go to groundup.org.za. You can click on the donate link at the top, and you can keep good public interest journalism going. Barbara, till next time, I'll chat to you soon.